What's on YouTube? It's PTT back at it with another Destiny 2 video. Today guys, I want to talk about record books. You remember what they are. There's those kind of wonderful additions to Destiny 1 that gave the hardcore and casual player something to grind for. It gave Guardians emblems to show off that let every other Guardian in the tower know you had completed every single page of the book, or that you were a raid god, or perhaps even a PvP god. Whatever node in the book it was you personally chased after, you could proudly show it off knowing you spent many hours playing your chosen area of the game to get there. Now, for some unknown reason, a feature added into Destiny 1 that the community absolutely loved was cut from Destiny 2's launch. Now, I don't want to hazard a guess as to why it was cut, because I feel voicing my opinion on it will just make a couple of people angry. But deep down, I think we kind of all really do know why it was cut at launch. That aside, we should, hope record books can return and have a look at how, if they do return, they could fix some of, not all, but some of the game's issues. Well, let's start off with why they should return. First of all, as I said before, they gave players something to grind for if they chose to. And let's be honest, there is very little grind in Destiny 2 right now. Second, they gave players a way to be rewarded for time spent in-game. And yes, I am aware we have emblems in-game now that kind of reward you by showing off numbers of events completed or matches won. But that to me just feels like a very poor way to feel rewarded, a number. I mean, if we look at a chapter of the Destiny 1 record book for a moment, even something as simple as the class-specific pages offer a more in-detailed way to be rewarded. Currently, you level up a character, get all the subclasses unlocked, and you get an emblem showing off how many kills you have with that particular subclass. And yes, it's kind of cool and I like it, but the Destiny 1 class-specific pages of the record book required more for you to get that emblem. And some of them, they were kind of tough. I mean, the Crucible challenges for each subclass, as an example, could be a real pain in the backside if you were not a Crucible player. So when you finally got it done, you felt a sense of achievement, and I don't feel like any of the current systems in Destiny 2 right now give you that sense of achievement and the ability to feel proud in yourself for completing something difficult. Next, let's look at the more PvE and PvP specific sections, because again, these offered very good challenges and grinds for players if they chose to. For this section, we will look at the Rise of Iron book and the Wrath of the Machine page. In this section, we were given challenges to complete in the raid. Throw Seaver charges in the raid, open Seaver caches, deliver voltage to the Foundry spinners, and the list goes on. Now, we all know that the reward for the raid in Destiny 2 right now is kind of poor. I mean, as a raid and PvE heavy player, I myself don't see the point of running it every week on all three characters like I did in Destiny 1. I mean, we don't get guaranteed loot after every boss, we have no real challenge when you know the mechanics, they are super easy, and we have no reason to really grind it out, as we now have a clan engram system, which is again something for another video. And let's not even get started on the token system and the repeated drops time and time again, because I would be here all day, get very angry about my 11 ghost primacies and 6 capes, but nothing else. Let's move on. Now, if we had a record book like in Destiny 1, then we could have challenges to do in the raid and get some kind of reward for completing them, and this would give the hardcore and casual players something to grind for if they so wish. And I'm sure I'm going to get some backlash because I keep mentioning, the hardcore player base, but you have to realise, guys, that while, yes, the hardcore player base is the majority, okay, we too need to have something to do in game. As we all know, the aim of Destiny 2 right now is to be more casual friendly, and that's cool. But why can't the hardcore player base not have something to do? A record book with nodes could provide some sort of grind for those players, and it's not like the rewards are game changing, so the average player won't really miss out on anything, but those of us that do choose to sink many hours in the game can be rewarded and have something to show off for it. Now, there are several ways record books could be brought back and used to keep the hardcore grindy players happy and keep the casual players happy too. The record book could be brought back in two ways. You can have an individual record book, and you could even have a clan record book. The individual record book could obviously be used to satisfy the more hardcore player, while the clan record book could be introduced to give players and clans a way of being rewarded for helping out the community via guided games and for completing activities as a clan. So, let's look at a couple of examples. A Destiny 2 record book for the individuals then. And again, these are just examples, guys, and you know, not loads of them. We could have the character-specific page, like in Destiny 1, requiring various tasks like kills with grenades, melee kills, etc. to be completed. We could have open world pages, lost sectors looted, public events completed on heroic, patrols completed, chests open, etc, etc. We can have a raid page, complete the raid multiple times, complete the pleasure gardens with over a 100 stack, complete a flawless section in the raid, open all the chests in the raid at least once. We can have a trials page, complete matches, complete a flawless ticket, defeat guardians in trials with kinetic energy and power ammo, complete 100 trials challenges. And of course, guys, the list can go on and on and on, to include every aspect of the game, including such events like Iron Banner and faction rallies. Now, to make this rewarding then for completing each page, specific packages become available. This could either be, and I hate to say it, tokens. So let's say you complete all nodes in the book of the raid, you get 200 raid tokens, and obviously the same can be done for each page, with tokens being given for each vendor. Now, to make this more rewarding, okay, you could even add in shaders specific for that page. So, you know, you get this really cool looking shader that you don't get anywhere else in the game, but you get it for completing the entire trials pages, or the entire raid pages, or the open public event challenges. What, you know, whatever page it is you do, you could get specific emblems, specific shaders, possibly even specific armor that says, look at me, I'm a PvE god, I'm a PvP god, I'm a raid god, I'm a trials god. Whatever it is you want to sink your time into, you could have some way of showing off your prestige in doing that activity, or your, you know, just at least just feel rewarded for doing it. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Let's next look at the clan record book, as this would be a great way for clans to be rewarded for completing activities and helping out in the community. You could have a guided games page. Wow, think of that. A guided games page, a way of being rewarded for actually taking part in guided games. Maybe this could be complete 5 guided raids, complete 5 guided trials, complete 5 guided nightfalls. Again, I use the term etc, 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 because it can go on to cover so much. You could have pages in the book that encourage clans to play together. So again, we look at something simple from the individual book, like, I don't know, strikes, but we had a clan element, so completing 25 strikes as a fire team of 2 or more clan members, and this again would reward specific tokens and or emblems, shaders, etc, etc. This would also work nicely with actually having the reward systems that you have in clans right now, where you get, you know, as a clan, more specific emblems. If there's 2 or more, the more activities you do and things like that, so it would all kind of tie in nicely together. Now, I know this won't solve the bigger and wider issues Destiny 2 has with grind and endgame and replayability, or anything in between, but all of the ideas and feedback for Bungie to listen to is good, okay, whether they like it or not, whether you guys like it or not. Any and all feedback is a good thing, because something I see a lot at the moment going around is people are coming up with constructive criticism and constructive feedback, and people get angry about it. Guys, it is not a bad thing to say Destiny 2 has issues, Destiny 2 has problems, we don't like this, but we do like this. That is how the game changes. Look back to Destiny 1, because it seems a lot of people have very short memories. They forget how vanilla Destiny was, they forget how Dark Below, House of Wolves and things like that changed the game, and how actually being vocal about the things we don't like, but in a constructive and positive way, is what Bungie needs to make the game better for all. Now, don't get me wrong, they have done a fantastic job. I still love playing Destiny 2, even though there are a lot of things that irritate me, and I will get to those in videos through the week about how certain things can and actually need to be changed for a successful lifespan of the game. You know, we all want Destiny 2 to be as successful and as enjoyable as Destiny 1. That is why we are playing it, and I feel right now, not just from my point of view, but from the community's point of view, through Twitter, through Facebook, through Reddit, wherever it is, even on the Bungie forums, okay, you get a general feeling that a lot of the community aren't happy with a lot of different things, and that's fine. Okay, we're allowed to be unhappy. It's how we go forward in wanting to change the unhappiness that is the important part. Okay, I've learnt my lesson. I've been there. I've done the ragingness. I've done the abusiveness towards Bungie and the Division at Massive and things like that, and it doesn't work. However, when you're constructive and you give good feedback and ideas, they tend to listen a little bit more. You can actually get your points across, and ultimately that then makes it into game, hopefully, sometimes, possibly, and we get positive changes for the game. But as always, guys, you know, these are just my ideas, my feedback, my thoughts. I would love to know yours in the comments section down below. One, do you think the record books should come back and they were a good thing, no matter what kind of player you were? If they did come back, how would you like to see them work? How would you like to see the reward system work? How would you like, how would you like the nodes to work? Would you like them to be really challenging, or would you like them to be semi-challenging, or would you like a good combination of each? You know, if you're, let's say, if you're going into a raid activity that should be something challenging, then the challenges should be a little bit harder, so that the more hardcore players have some kind of reward. And then maybe, the open world pages are easier to complete for the more casual player because, let's be honest, the open world isn't as punishing as going into the raid. So the challenges should be a little bit easier. Let me know all of that and your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you like the video, drop a thumbs up. It helps me. It helps the channel out greatly and we do appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel for daily Destiny content. But for now, Guardians, as always, thank you very much for watching. And until the next one, I'll catch you all soon.